Getzel on the right. He scores! Jake Getzel!
Hundley holds, steps up. Hundley sacks T.J. Watt. NFL history. Watt has tied Michael Strahan's single-season record. Oh, no.
In the air to right. This is deep. And he did it again. Jack Sawinski wins it for the Pirates. 3 home runs in a game.
Thank you for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Thanks for watching us on Verizon 32 in Bethel Park, and all the way from Nemacolin, Cranberry, Wexford, and greater Pittsburgh area. We've got fans everywhere. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching us on Facebook Live and Verizon 32, of course, and Comcast 7. And then please subscribe to our channel, Pittsburgh Sportsline channel.
Yes.
It's very simple, Pittsburgh Sportsline channel on YouTube. We're going live there. Smoking Jim can see it on his Mac. No, he can't. He gave it away, folks. He gave his Mac Pro away because he found out Apple makes everything. But thank you for watching the show. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine. Smoking Jim Frazier. Chip said he'll be back next week. He's able to walk and getting stronger without a cane. I talked to him today. So we got a special guest for the last 3 months, maybe his last appearance for a week or two. Jim Ellenbogen Guns is here. Woo! Then we have Nick VIP Callis. And I'm ready to start some promos here.
I'm going to take a nap while you drink the next half hour.
Hey, for all of you that want, for all of you, I'll just say this. I rarely ever say this. In honor of guns, if you have to go to the bathroom or you have to make a hoagie or a pizza, you go ahead and do that now, and I'll be back in 10 minutes.
At least.
All right, first up, I support the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette Strikers. 36 years, negotiated many contracts with my PPMWS, CWA union,
We should have
Pittsburgh
got ice cream
Mailers,
then.
14842, Local 22. They're on strike because Post-Gazette hired a union-busting firm, and they decided to cancel their health care. Imagine you all work for health care. If you don't, you know what it's like, or you knew what it's like. If you're on Medicare and stuff, you know how you get it. Imagine not having health care in 2023. The only one that can't imagine that is Smoking Jim. So they went on strike because they were forced to go on strike. The company broke the contract and they refused to negotiate. Please stop your subscriptions online and in print. Don't buy them. Don't listen to Smoking Jim, even though he's a writer. I don't know if he'd be a scab and cross the picket line like all their sports writers did. That's enough for that. Get your pizza. All right. Short one on this. We got Mike volunteering. Big Mike is here on camera. Olive Oil's Pizzeria. They sponsor us, but they're closed tonight, so no pizza, no hoagie. And I won't give their phone number out. Don't call them. Nobody's there. It was dark.
No 6-cut.
Well, whatever it was, I forget.
6-cut hoagie, right?
I'm not sure. Are you delaying this opening?
No, I'm just
All
trying to
right.
help you.
We
Old people, you know.
you're older than me, so
So you say.
I know you're a year older than me. So
A year?
Yeah.
Well, your math is worse than Jim's.
Well, I knew you'd come up with something when I threw the truth at you. You're good. We end each show with Stay Joey Strong.
Which bad
Joey
hour?
Fabus died at 8 years old, 9 years ago, of DIPG, a dreaded brain cancer. His family started the Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation. You can go to online, jfccf.org, donate money as little as $1. They've raised over $100,000 to find a cure. Help them out. All right, next 501c3, Always Be Smiling. The B in there stands for Bennett, the young boy Died at 16 and a half. He was handicapped. You okay smoking? He died from many different health issues. He had 2 kidney transplants, including one from his dad, Dean. His mother, Kristen, and Dean started Always Be Smiling, a 501c3 that helps other families with children that need kidneys. Check them out. Donate as little as $1, and we pumped them up from 800 to 1,200 likes. All right, Bethel Park Historical Society, Arts and History Center there. I lost my other copy. Did you keep it?
I might have.
Yeah. All right, we did the promos, Guns. Just so you know, I did audio for all the promos, and it's going to come up next week.
Wow, you're only on 3 minutes. You're
I
trying to
know.
give me a stroke.
I'm trying. We'll go faster. 2600 South Park Road, the red and white trolley. Help them out there. They're a 501c3. They do great events. Community Foundation, which I'm a trustee, has an auditorium there. Reginald's Coffee. Guess what? They have a roaster right in the shop.
Nice.
They roast all kind of great coffee, and I've been told that's the best coffee you can get. So go there. All right, Dave Cable likes to have a little fun at my expense. He put my face on Uncle Sam. I want you for BPTV. We got Rowan in here. We got Marco in here. We got Big Mike here, the dad. Mike Rohde's here on camera. He's doing a couple cameras at one time on a bad hip. Unbelievable. If you're in high school, give us a call, 412-831-3304. You can learn audio, video. You can learn the TikTok. You can learn the Facebook, YouTube, you name it, any social media. We can do it with cameras and more. So give us a call and come help us out.
The hula hoop is good for a bad hip. That'll get you back.
Smoking Jim, we're talking promos.
Oh, okay.
You're out of order.
You don't have no pizza. What do you want him to do?
I want you for for Bethel Park Community Foundation. We have money for you, Not Smoking Jim. From $100 to $5,000. He got crushed on this weekend for every game except Indiana. He bet the house. And you can go there to bpcf.org, get an application. And if you want to have money for your group doing great things in Bethel to make us a better community, get an app and come and meet. We meet every couple months. All right, Guns, last but not least, Party in the Park, April 29th, South Park Theater. You can't miss it, right at the entrance there. Smoking Jim, just no disclaimer, but that one was proper to clap on.
Yeah.
The other one you did was so disrespectful that I didn't want to make fun of you.
Oh.
Oh, that slipped out. We're going to move on. That's it for all the promos. And we're going to do, I hate to do it, but what's on your mind? Smoking Jim Frazier.
New record.
Thanks,
6
Al
minutes.
Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got
That was a
to
high, hard one,
see
buddy.
Levine.
Nice toss.
And I apologize.
Old-timer.
I apologize for the one clap. I was clapping for the great picture and didn't realize. But anywho,
Well, Smoking
you know.
Jim, let me explain something to the fans. They taught Smoking Jim how to edit because he's a producer of shows at PCTV.
I passed the course.
But he has not edited one thing. Let me say hi to a few people. Jim Ellenbogen, hello, thanks for watching. Brand the Man said, hi, fellas, he's watching. How about those Penguins, a trade or two? And who'd they get rid of at #1 draft pick that hasn't done anything all year? Amy's watching us.
Hey, Amy.
Yay, Amy.
Diane Rohde is asking, how's your hip, honey? No, she didn't say that. She's watching. We got Chief Chuck McElroy's watching. Don't let smoking starve. Chief, if you notice, he has a Kentucky Fried Chicken cup. He gets a 9-piece bucket of dark meat
Amy says-
every week. So he has plenty of food. Don't you worry. Oh, and Amy noticed, Smoking Jim, you dressed all in black.
Yes.
Very nice.
My Yankees.
It was $5 for each item that he's wearing. Brandon, the man, says lots of activity in the NHL. Talks heating up with the Pens. All right, Chloe Scott is watching. Tony from Chick-fil-A, what would be your favorite place to take in a baseball game? Do not answer Smokin' Jim. We'll have to leave that up for discussion a little later.
Altona's my favorite.
And why? Is that because the railroad goes there?
I like the ballpark.
There you go, Tony. Smokin' Jim jumped in there. I'll let him carry on because we were trying to figure out what's on his mind.
All right, Al Levine, the talking machine. I tell you what, just happened to be at the Rivers Casino every day, and Monday was a day, and they happened to have the Pirate game on, and they had Andrew McCutcheon. They had him all mic'd up in the outfield, and they was playing Jay Hayes' team. I'm not sure what team that is.
Jay Hayes?
Yeah,
Jay?
Jay Hay. He was on the,
That's what he called
yeah, yeah.
He don't know his real
He was
name.
on that team, some team in the red. Well, they was up about. When I left, they was up like 9-0 on the Pirates. No, the Pirates had just got a 2-run homer and make it 9-2. But anywho,
Thanks for correcting your story.
yeah. So
What's the point of this?
But when I was watching the game, I seen this pitcher, Hernandez. You heard of him, Nick? Left-handed pitcher, can throw about 100 miles an hour. Even Steve Blass would say this guy got no control. Oh my goodness! I thought he was going to kill somebody out there, Al Levine, the talking machine. And I tell you what, the two guys. Now I used to be a pitcher, and the two guys
Well,
I
here,
went.
I have to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think Sandy Koufax, when he came in the league, he had great control?
Yes, better than Hernandez.
You have not watched
better than
baseball.
Hernandez.
You know what? He was
Sandy Koufax was my favorite.
Well, then here's how you know nothing. Fans, no disrespect to Smokin' Jim, but he doesn't tell the truth. I know he always says he's honest. Sandy Koufax was one of the wildest rookie pitchers in history.
Wow. Is Hernandez a rookie? No.
I don't care who he is.
But
Why are you changing the subject when I said you didn't know Sandy Koufax? He
I love
proved
it. I love Sandy Koufax. But the two guys I would never pitch to, and I was a former pitcher, I would walk them every
We have
time.
no verification of him being a pitcher.
One would be Aaron Justice. What's his name? Judge. Aaron Judge.
Is he a
the
pitcher?
Yankees. No, I'm saying as a pitcher I will walk. And the other one is Cruz. Both of them look like they could just crush a baseball
What was
900
Cruz's
feet.
average last year? Did he get up to 280?
But don't he look good in the uniform? I mean, he does everything
Hold it.
well.
Were you talking about hitting or not?
Yeah, I would walk him.
He didn't
There's
even
no
hit
way.
280
I
last
wouldn't
year.
pitch to him. I'd walk him every time. And this is from a former pitcher. And that's what's on my mind.
One first this.
Would you pitch to Aaron Judge?
With Smokin' Jim, usually
his
we needed one source to verify. I'm up to 17 sources to verify. He doesn't even know his catcher. He doesn't know his first base, his manager, doesn't know anybody on his team. And who's he trying to emulate?
Joe Morgan.
Yeah, I would pitch at him, but I wouldn't pitch at Aaron
He was a
Judge.
better hitter than Cruz.
Oh, Cruz is scary in the base.
Smokin' Jim, thanks for giving us all that information. Now I know less than I did about baseball.
Yeah.
All right, Guns, what's on your mind?
Well, what's on my mind? A long time ago, Al asked me to do him a favor. He'd come here. The Israelis took the Golan Heights in 1967, and they're still there. Another couple weeks, I'll be there as long as them. Anyway, what's on my
I
mind?
apologize.
What's on my mind is the Pirates in this Reynolds deal. And I keep hearing them say, oh, well, we're close to getting a deal done. We're going to get a deal done. Let me tell you something. If Nutting wanted the deal to be done, the deal would be done. Mm-hmm. It's all BS. You know what I mean? They're just stringing this kid along like he does everything. And even if he does get good enough, they'll trade him anyway. And the proof of it is like we had discussed earlier, he made $67 million last year, where other teams are in debt for spending money on there. So
One little interruption we
Sure.
talked about. San Diego spent $1 billion in the offseason for players' salaries. Now, I'm going to repeat myself because Smoking Jim can't comprehend a dollar, let alone $1 billion.
Bitcoin guy.
That's what's, yeah. Well, we know what that's done. But no, appreciate it, Guns. You were on the Sports Authority, so we don't have to verify anything that he says right now about this.
He's interested in money, making money.
Your biggest fan, Amy, said, Guns, I like your haircut.
Well, thank you. My hair was getting kind of out of, but thank you, Amy. I appreciate you. But
Glad we could make your point. Go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
That's okay. But the point is this: the kind of guys that should own teams are guys like Kraft.
Yes.
A guy like Jones, guys that don't care about money. They just want to win,
I agree.
and in their glory to win,
What
they
about
carry
a gambler that doesn't care about money? You're sitting next to him. You know, if he has 100, he spends 200. You know, if you give him 20, he needs 40.
That's Jimmy.
That's degenerate gambler.
Well, I hate to admit it, but he was the original Jimmy the Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he picked some winners. A few.
Maybe. But the point is,
Amy said you're welcome.
like, as long as he owns this team, somebody prove me wrong that he's any good. And in fact, we always talk about the standard is the standard.
Yeah, from Tomlin.
But nothing's got everybody thinking, you know what? If we don't lose 100 games this year, if we only lose 90, we didn't have too bad of a year.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not wearing Steeler gear until if they have a winning season. I mean, Pirate gear.
Okay.
Winning season till halfway through. And that's what's on my mind. And I'm sticking to my guns.
Thank you, Guns. Shout out to Jim Lamb. You know we're doing the Donnybrook, March 10th.
Yes, sir.
Priory Hotel. He said remind the folks that we'll be doing the Donnybrook March 10th.
They were doing it on the radio today.
Yeah,
they were
so
talking about it.
We're honored to be announcing and filming the fights. We can't wait. Smoking Jim, myself, and Nick will be there. He'll be running the camera. Can't wait to meet the Vice President, Rob Tierney. Had a great conversation with him. Jim, can't wait to see and talk to you again. So thanks for the shout out and remind us, get out there, get your tickets. We want to sell it out. Go to the Priory Hotel, go to Donnybrook, put it all out there. You can go get a ticket. Watch us announce and film the fights. It'll be a great night of Ireland. These young men from Ireland have been training to beat our Pittsburgh young men too, who've been training ferociously. So I can't wait to announce these fights. Great boxing every time we've seen it. So come on out there. We'll see you on 7 o'clock, March 10th. That's a Friday night. Oh, Amy said March Madness basketball starts soon.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Amy.
Amy.
Should we go to Nick Callis? What's on
That's
your
my
mind?
man.
Well, first of all, the Pirates are on my mind as well. I'll still wear Pirate gear because, of course, Al and the rest of them know I'm a naive baseball fan because I'm still young. We've got that out of the way already.
Wait, how old are you
I'm
again?
24.
Thank you very much. Us old timers
I
have
started on this
fight
show when
about
I was-
6 months.
When I was 21 or 22, so wow, how young am I? Great. Okay, we all know that, right? I still
No disrespect, men here. We just wanted it out
Oh,
there.
no, totally
like we
fine.
don't know how old Smoking Jim is. He's between 30 and 70.
I just wanted to beat you to the punch, though. That
We
was-
just want to see
Excellent.
yes, sir.
You got me
So here's a
twice today. You and him.
Here's a big piece. Here's the big piece of the Pirates that I think is going to make or break the team this year, or just one of a few pieces that could make or break the team this year. Think about how consistent the starting rotation is this year, and think about how inconsistent the starting rotation has been for the Pirates over the last 4 or 5 years. It's nice right now that we've got players in the rotation that have recognizable names and have what I would say is good upside. I had no idea, by the way, until somebody brought this up to me over the weekend, that Rich Hill started 20 games in 5 of the last 7 seasons, and one of the seasons he didn't was the COVID season, and his ERA was under 4 in those seasons. So there's some upside with him. And if the Pirates aren't competitive come July, I hate to say this, trade him away. But if not, he could be a key piece. I love Vince Velasquez. The dude once got hit with a baseball on a line drive back to the mound when he was pitching for the Phillies. Threw the ball left-handed to first base. Another time, he had to play the outfield in extra innings because they ran out of players. The dude threw out a guy at home once and made another strong throw on a close play the second time. I think he's a competitor. I don't think he's one of those guys that are just going to throw out there. I think that he could make his mark as a starter, and I like the fact that he's competitive. I see a competitive edge in him, and that makes me happy to watch. But the big key for the Pirates this year, aside from Wanzi Contreras potentially having a breakout season this year, is Mitch Keller. The expectations for Mitch Keller have come and gone, and I've talked about him before, but this season for Mitch Keller, very important. If he doesn't do well, all hope is lost for him. He had a great second half of the year last year. Coming into this season now, though, he's got to continue growing from that good second half, and he's got to be a consistent piece of the team. And if he's not only is his career going to go into shambles, but it's going to hinder the Pirates. I expect Keller to have a good year, but I think that of all the players on the team who are part of the pitching staff, Keller's got to have the best season. If he doesn't have the best season, the Pirates are going to struggle. He might not be on the Pirates next season, and the Pirates are going to continue to be set back and continue their stretch of mediocrity or subpar baseball play. That's what's on my mind.
I got a question
Nick.
for you, Nick.
Yes.
You pitched, right?
I did.
Now, how many games should a pitcher pitch in a season, basically, in the MLB? If it's a 5-man rotation, what do you think they would start?
I'd say you want to get 16 starts.
Okay, so 16.
Ideally.
I was thinking 25 or more. But, I'm an optimist. Now, you're telling me Rich Hill had 20 starts in how many years?
5 of 7.
5 years?
Yeah.
Okay, that averages out to 4 starts. And you were looking at if he had 5 starts, that would be good in your book?
Wait, what do you mean? 5 starts
Pitching. You had said that.
Yeah, he started 20 games in 5 of the last 7 seasons.
Okay, now if he does that in Pittsburgh, I understood that you thought that would be a good performance by him at 41 years old, not being washed up.
I think he's older than 41, but
I'm just throwing that out there. I just wanted
He went
you
to school with me,
no,
Al.
but because
He's old.
my perception of Rich Hill was that I remember when he was on the Twins, he was injury prone, and that was also the season that COVID-19 ruined the year and shortened the year. So, considering that he hasn't actually been injury-ridden over the years, and the fact that he's started at least 20 games 5 of the last 7 seasons, and one of the seasons he didn't was the COVID year where he was also hurt when he was on the Twins roster. That's all I'm saying. It's like, I thought he might be injury-prone, but...
No, I misunderstood.
Yeah.
I thought you said 20 games in 5 years.
No. He started 20 or more games,
You
5
didn't
of
say
the last
that.
7
That's why
seasons.
I was thrown off that we're getting a guy that can only average 5 starts.
No. 20
Thank
games
you for the correction. I'm glad I asked the
each
question.
of 5 of the last 7 seasons. Yes. What's up?
You used to pitch?
I did.
I think I could have took you deep.
Well, see, I've been telling you for years since I've been on this show that I got some bats and I got some balls in my car, and the weather's turning. So if you want to come out to a field and you actually want to give me your old school skills, I will gladly take them out again, sir.
That sounds like a challenge.
But the difference between you and me, too, is that there is photographical and videoed evidence of me playing baseball, pitching, and
What is
hitting.
there of him?
And there's not really...
Well, that's not fair. They didn't have cameras.
There's Joe Morgan's batting stance from the right side. Morgan was a left-hander. I don't know if you actually knew that.
I didn't know that.
No, okay.
Well, here's the
Just
other
saying.
thing. We don't mind a little dispute on here, but I'm a witness, and I try to speak the truth. Unlike
I told
my
him we can
best
go
friend.
anytime, right?
You've done it. I can't count how many times that you've done it. You even had a ball, and you said, "Here, can you catch?" And he ran into his vehicle.
In the parking lot. Yes, he did.
That was in the parking lot. Here, let me say hi to Rich Donnelly. Rich Donnelly contacted Smoking Jim and I to do the
All right,
Donnybrook
Rich.
fights. Again, we'll be there.
Coach
We hope
Donnelly.
you join us. Get your tickets. Contact anybody that's involved with the Donnybrook, and you can come out there. We appreciate it. Thanks, Rich, again for contacting us. We're proud and honored to do it again. And go Pittsburgh. We're a little bit prejudiced. We believe Pittsburgh will win. Okay, John Donatelli has some wisdom for us. My Italian grandpap pronounced nothing is nutting. He must have known what the Buccos would have. Nutting. I salute you.
Way to go, Doc.
I salute you. And John, I grew up with all kind of Italian friends: Russo, De Mayo, Piccinini's, Florioli, Strategos, you name it.
Disclaimer.
And a lot of them spoke that way, so I understand that. So thank you very much. And Tony from Chick-fil-A, what is in Smoking Jim's drink? He a little off tonight. LOL. Well, he doesn't drink alcohol ever, but he does love caffeine. When he goes to a casino, the first thing he does before he
That's true.
gets money out of the ATM is he gets coffee.
Yep.
When we were at the Meadows, he would always get a free cup of coffee. When we were at the Rivers a couple times, he goes, "Machine, you want coffee?" I go, "I never drink it." He goes, "I'll get a free cup for you."
Was there something in that drink before the ginger ale that you just poured in there?
There was ice. There was ice in there.
Oh, that makes sense. It's like, who does that? Just you buy a drink from somewhere and you're just like, yeah, okay. Or something wrong.
No, let me help you. You're young,
I am young.
and he's much older than
But
you.
Smoking
at
Jim's a
least.
little loony in a way that nobody can really understand.
Well, here's how you follow it. He gets his 9-piece bucket of dark meat at Kentucky Fried
I'm
Chicken.
aware.
Then he gets whatever pop is the flavor of the day.
All right.
And I'm from Pittsburgh. It's not soda. It's pop. Then he finishes it because he's a little dry. You got to keep lubricated to keep those vocal cords functioning.
Totally understand. Yeah.
So now he's tossing in the Giant Eagle bought ginger ale that he bought. He probably stopped in at Giant Eagle. He was looking for Amy there, and she doesn't work.
How long was that bottle in your car?
All right, can I do what's on my mind? What a first half of the show.
Moving right along.
Oh, okay. What's on my mind is we had a great young guest on our show. And his great mother, Angel Schifino. Her son was Jalen Hood Schifino. My son Drew goes, "You gonna watch Schifino this afternoon?" And I go, "Yeah." We started watching, and they thought they could control this young man who's a freshman. He only threw 35 points down on them. He won Player of the Week, or Player of whatever. It was just amazing what he's developed into as a player. He's gone and he's focused on basketball his whole life. I don't know if he was homeschooled, but somehow he has like a 4.0 grade average.
Wow.
Smoking Jim. So he didn't listen to you. You know how you were trying to get him to go to Gateway?
Yes.
His mother shunned you. He shunned you. And he went to all these schools, academies. Indiana wanted him, recruited him, and signed him. So check out Jalen Hood Schifino. He has Pittsburgh Sportsline Karma helping him. We take a little bit of credit, just a little there, but it was just great seeing him. That's what's on my mind. And we'll just move on to Fiction and Fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac. Woo. See, I did it this way. We kept focused. He did, but they wasn't ready yet.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And I know for a fact you wouldn't bet against your son, Drew. I already know. It's a rhetorical question. I already know Mike wouldn't bet against his son,
Hold it.
Marco.
Disclaimer. Where did you come up with rhetorical? Who were you hanging around?
I'm learning, brother.
Rhetorical. That was even said in the right context.
I know my man Mike wouldn't bet against his son, Marco.
Here's the dictionary. We
It's
don't
in
need
there.
it. Thank you, Lois.
But
Brenner.
why in the world would I bet the house against my godson, the best freshman in the country, 6'7" point guard, Jalen Hood Schifino? Purdue, in my opinion, I thought was the best team in the country. Been number one most of the season.
Who's beat him the last month?
Indiana beat them at Indiana.
Home.
So Purdue gets them at home on a Sunday or a Monday. I can't remember. I think it was Sunday. Oh, man, did I tell you what, all the money I could get up, I put on that baby. It was Monday, matter of fact. And I tell you what, Al Levine, the talking machine, I'm looking in the first half. Everybody from Indiana's in foul trouble except for my godson. He throws in 25 points in the first half. I text him at halftime because Indiana's still winning by 4. The referees are trying to cheat. I text him at halftime, look here. Pass that ball around, brother. I got money on this game. Second half, man, Indiana comes out, and they look to me like a national championship team. They blew Purdue out. Purdue got a 7'4" center white guy that can really play. And
Disclaimer, he's not a racist. He doesn't represent any of us on the show or BPTV. Carry on.
But that's what's on my mind, Al Levine, the talking machine. Everybody came at me on Twitter. They were saying Drew Schifino. I mean, not Drew Schifino, because he's really done.
May I go first?
But
I have one
Jalen
important
Hood Schifino is going to be one and done. He'll be in the NBA next year, and I think he'll be in the NBA with his third national championship. In high school, as a junior and senior, he won a national championship. I think Indiana wins it again this year.
I got a serious question.
Hope he goes to Cleveland so I can watch him
Not
play.
about Jalen. We wish him the best. and
Maybe
he is a great
Washington
player.
Bullets.
Smoking Jim, take a little break.
Okay.
How many godchildren
pizza.
do you actually have?
I got officially 13 godkids.
Okay, multiply that by 10.
Yes.
I've been hanging around him for 11 years. He has 800 cousins, 350 godchildren.
Yes.
And he has 1,000 people. He doesn't know who they are, but he recognizes them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so we got that clarified.
Okay, pick me. Can I go now?
Yes.
You have a Twitter?
I don't have a Twitter, but people send me texts from Twitter to my phone. I do have a Twitter, but I don't know how to get on it.
Well, that's interesting.
It's on your Mac.
Because I'm looking it up here and there's nothing there.
Yeah,
What's it called?
I do have a Twitter.
What's it called?
I think
Smoking.
Smoking Jim Frazier, I think. But I do have a Twitter, but I don't know how to
remember
get
your
on it.
LinkedIn account.
Remember my
I had
LinkedIn?
to
You
make
put
your
me
LinkedIn
on.
account.
Jody put me on Twitter.
She had a bad name on
Robin,
whoever did it for you.
Miss Robin put me on Facebook.
She's the best.
Who put me on Instagram?
Oh my gosh! Mark Caboli put you in a tweet.
Did
He
he?
writes for The Athletic and the Steelers. 2011 Steeler Writers MVP. You're number 5 on his list. No letters in there either. Just 1 through 5.
Oh, really? What do you mean?
On my birthday in 2011, December 29, 2011.
What's that? Say that
He
slow.
put you on his 2011 Steeler Writers MVPs of the
Oh,
year.
thank you,
You're
thank
number
you.
5 behind Steve Flynn.
And you know what he means
Yeah.
about it's only a top 5? There's no 5A, 5B, 5C, 5D.
Oh, okay.
5E.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just
on
1
it.
through 5.
I'm on it.
But there's
Very
no
on it.
people named Smoking Jim Frazier.
I was a heck
Unless
of
you're the James Frazier
I
that's
was a heck of a writer.
Yeah, his legal name's James.
I'm a
Well-
journalist.
Well, unless you're the James Frazier that's a God-fearing patriot on here and loves his country, his flag, and his guns that I saw in the first.
Me and my godson Jalen Schifino, we never seen racism.
So I've heard.
Yeah.
Hold it, Dr. Donatelli has a breaking announcement. I want some of that ginger ale. He goes, I got to get some of that ginger ale. Where'd you get the ginger ale, Smoking
Pass
Jim?
that to him. That's not you. Oh, that's Snapchat. Hold on.
It's gone. It's gone.
Hold it, can
It's gone
Dr.
for good.
Donatelli get your ginger ale? Where'd
Maybe
you
it-
buy it today?
John Eagle, of course, with Amy.
Well, Amy wanted to know. You answered that. Amy went there and he was looking for you. Now you know, Amy. He didn't know where to find you. I don't want to tell my Giant Eagle story with Nick Brenner. And I'll tell it off air to the guys.
Woo!
It's a hilarious
I was
story.
easy to find. No one.
All right, we got to move on. Thanks, Smoking Jim. Now we're going to Jim Ellenbogen for guns.
Every time I look at that thing.
That is great. All right.
You all right? All right, boys, settle down.
What's up?
March Madness. March Madness is coming. Everybody will be getting their block pulls. Everybody will be doing their thing. Who are the best teams? Top four: Houston, Alabama,
Yes.
Purdue, Kansas, UCLA. And finally, who made the top 25?
Pitt,
Pitt. Talk about,
#1 in the ACC.
which incidentally, you've seen all the criticism that Boeheim from Syracuse got
Yes.
by talking about Pitt.
Yeah.
Was it inappropriate? Probably. But I didn't hear anybody say he was lying.
Great point, Guns.
I mean, that's not the same team that he started with. But hey, one thing about Pittsburghers, as long as we win, we don't care where you get it
That's what
from.
I'm
We don't
talking
care where you
about.
get it from. So I'm looking forward to March Madness. I haven't come up with my top four yet. I want to watch some of the tournaments before I decide who. But stay tuned. And now the Penguins.
Okay.
I
Where are
always,
they going?
I always thought that Hextall had one problem. You know, you got to decide what lane you're in. The lane that you're going to sell or the lane that you're going to buy.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes, sir.
And you said that he had made a move today?
Oh, before
He made
a couple of days.
Well,
yeah.
see, that's the problem, and that's why he gets himself in Dutch like he does, because he can't make a decision which lane he belongs in.
Yeah, he made it a few days ago. He made it.
So now everybody's all excited because they smoked Tampa Bay. I wonder who they paid for that to happen. But I'm still hopeful that maybe they make the
Hey,
playoffs.
Guns, Brandon Mann says, agrees with you. Hextall's the problem.
Well, if he agrees with me and he knows his hockey, then,
Yeah.
then I'm comfortable where I'm at with that. I'm not sure whether I want them to make the playoffs or not, because what's waiting for them
Good
there
point.
is scarier. So
Yeah.
anyway, we'll wait and see. Hopefully they will make the playoffs, if not for anything, but for all the bar owners and guys that are, getting folks in there to watch the games, and
Yeah.
it'll be fun. So let's hope that the last few games are positive for them. And
Under 20 to go, I think.
yeah, because Hextall, if you're listening, you better do something. I know Nutting's rooting for you not to do anything because you're taking the attention off of him, but we'll see. And that's sticking to my guns.
Hold it. Another friend of mine, Rita, is watching. Rita, thanks for watching our show. We appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Smoking.
Do you think Duquesne has a chance to get in? Because Duquesne got about 20 wins, and nobody's talking about them. And my Robert Morris is doing pretty good too this year.
I don't, and they're better teams, but from my observations, they don't have the power to get in there with the big guns.
I think I
You
know.
know,
why
Answer this question.
I think I know why you said that, though.
Why?
You must have been listening to the fan over the weekend, because both those head coaches were interviewed for their successes during the season by Jeff Hathaway.
So you're busting
So-
Nick's chops in when you're using me to get at it.
Yeah.
Nice try. I think.
Well, I mean, believe it or not, as Al would remind people, I'm old enough to remember when Duquesne was a powerhouse.
Yeah.
So,
But
Me
they did
too.
good this year, about 20 wins. Point Park ain't bad.
yeah, but it's like the old story goes, who'd you beat? You know what I'm saying?
Don't ask Smoking.
You know,
he knows what he's doing.
I could
He's a genius.
I could knock out 20 guys in the street, but that ain't gonna make me 20-0. But I don't want to fight Tyson after.
Well, they call you Jake Paul.
Well, in my fighting days, you know what I mean. Look what it did. I used to have a pretty face before I started all that back in the day, so we'll just leave it at that, Jim.
Yeah,
Not everybody can be as pretty as you.
we better move
Don't
on.
worry, Al. We know you're the prettiest.
Oh, no, I don't worry about it. I got you on the show to give me the compliments all the time.
You're the
so
man.
I appreciate it. Amy said, I like your Yankees hat, Smoking
Thank
Jim.
you. That's my favorite team, me and Nick.
Not
Aaron
really.
Judge.
Not really.
Well, no, I am.
Yeah, you
I
are.
don't know if he.
Yeah.
Red Sox.
All right, we got to go to VIP time.
Pony Boy.
All right, opinion time. Talk about baseball again because some things happen. There's some new rules. There's some new rules being enforced, and it's got people kind of in some controversy. So
I'm excited.
So the pitch clock, which it seems some pitchers don't like calling it the pitch clock. It's just the pace clock because batters are being enforced by these rules as well. And if you saw the Braves and the Red Sox play each other on, I believe it's Saturday or Sunday. I don't know why we're clapping.
I like the pitch clock.
Me too. That's what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah,
But
if Scherzer likes it because he's a fast, pitcher. Going
your guy
to the
Judge
mound.
likes it too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of players that like it. So
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you, but I'm enthused about it.
you could just say that.
I'll steal your thunder. Games are 23 minutes shorter.
Right. I mean, Greg Brown was reporting too from some of the games.
Unbelievable.
They're about 2.5 hours, which is nice.
2 minutes and 38 seconds. I watched that because being a pitcher, a true pitcher, unlike Smoking Jim who talks about it, you and I both pitched.
Yeah. So it's more like a pace clock because
Second base.
batters are being enforced as well. But you saw the Red Sox and the Braves over the weekend. Batter got caught out with the bases loaded, full count, 2 outs in the inning in a tie game. And the batter got called out. Now, in spring training, you don't go to extra innings. The game just ended in a tie. But I know that I didn't think that any of these calls would be strictly enforced that deep into games with that much on the line. And the fact that they called that and they enforced that, that's beautiful. I think it's amazing, too. I'm glad that they're doing it in spring training. I know big name Manny Machado had a strike called on him. Because in order for the pitcher to have a fair amount of time to deliver a pitch, the batter's got to be alert to the pitcher with 8 seconds left on the clock.
Who knew?
Each pitch has to be delivered within 20 seconds of each other, and the batter's got to be in the box by the time the clock gets down to 8 seconds so the pitcher can, again, have enough time to deliver. So I think it's wonderful that you get the nonsense out of the way of, too many batting glove strap pulls or the pitcher bending down grabbing the rosin bag. I also like this is already implemented, but
What are they grabbing below the belt? That's what I want to know.
I can't answer that, but they're taking their time, just getting prepared. And I mean, I agree with the players doing it before because if you don't have a rule in place to enforce, to make the players do it, the players should be able to do whatever they want. If you're not going to police something as the league, then of course the players aren't going to police themselves. They're going to try to be the most comfortable that they can possibly be in any given case, no matter how much time it takes for them to get in the box or how much time it takes for the pitcher to get on the rubber. So when there is a problem out there, when you see that players won't police themselves, which obviously nobody really likes to police themselves or enforce rules on themselves, they want to be as selfish as possible and be as comfortable as possible. Totally makes sense. But that's where you need a rule out of necessity to implement to force the players to say, hey, you know what? If you're not going to manage your own paces yourselves, we're going to do it for you because there's too much time in between pitches. There's too many pickoff attempts, and I talked about this before too. But there were times where I wasn't the hardest thrower when I pitched after a while, and there were some times where I would just throw a pickoff to first base 3 or 4 times to throw off the hitter's rhythm, with no intention of picking off a runner. That's why I like where the limits come in for pickoffs. Make pickoffs with purpose. There are a lot of times where pitchers would strategically do that to throw off the rhythm of the hitter, but nobody needs to see 4 or 5 pickoffs. And as a pitcher, I can tell you some of those pickoff attempts had no intent of throwing out a runner. So with that in mind, when you have these rules in place, when the players won't enforce pace onto themselves, it's a good thing that the league steps in and says, you know what, this is unnecessary, this is nonsense. Let's let's put something in here. And I think 20 seconds in between pitches, totally fine. And I think that hitters should just get right back into the box. 12 seconds to step out, get a quick sign, step back in. You know, and there are a lot of hitters too nowadays that just get the green light, like swing away, hit for power. So I don't know what signs are going to be given now, like the old school where bing, bam, boom, indicator. Here's the sign, shimmy, shimmy. I don't see that happening anymore. And I look at a lot of base coaches too sometimes when I'm watching games at the stadium. They're not doing that they're not doing signs that involved anymore. So, do the batters really need all that
What
time?
about banging on the drum?
Well, that was a different sign. That was actually done in real time, and that was used with
More
video
fire-
technology
more fireworks.
help. That was used with some
Just
video
wanted to
technology
bring it up
help.
because
So,
I knew you'd know.
yeah, so no, that was.
You are on fire. Hey,
So-
Tony from Chick-fil-A, I got to interrupt you. I would rather hear Nick analyze baseball than the Fort. Chief goes, Verlander and Scherzer make $97 million for the Mets. Pirates' entire payroll, $65 million.
Oh, I'm not here to talk about the Pirates' payrolls. Ellen Bogan already made
Oh,
that
we're
pretty
in
clear.
Pittsburgh and we're on Pittsburgh Sports Line.
No, I'm Ellenbogen.
We got a Yankee guy there. We can talk anything.
You're
Go
right.
ahead.
No, but Gus
This is
says-
one of your best VIP segments,
it. I love
except for one thing.
What's that?
I was a pitcher and I had a great fastball. When I threw to first base, it was to get him out. I had a great pickoff move to second base. Second baseman there, I'd give a tap on my leg. I picked off more guys at second base on pickoff moves.
Well, here's Nick.
That's what I did.
Here's the VIP admitting to you, though. As I got older, my fastball became subpar to some of the other competition that I faced. So I, out of necessity, had to use movement and strategic maneuvers to get hitters out because, by the time I got to college, 79 wasn't cutting it anymore. I had to lift a little more and get a little more miles per hour on that fastball. The fastest pitch I've ever thrown, 83. Not that impressive by Major League Baseball standards today. So I had to do something. So that's why I talk about pickoffs, but there are several pitchers
I
out there.
understand now.
I
Thank
believe
you
in
for
Major League
explaining
Baseball that aren't the Verlanders, the Scherzers, the DeGroms of the league who use that pickoff attempt strategically because they know they can gain a slight advantage if they throw off the hitter's rhythm by
Hold it.
throwing
Dave
those pickoffs
Cable
over.
has spoken.
Oh, yeah? Nick versus
Nick
Al.
versus Al in a pitch-off.
Let's do it.
I got one problem with it. I'll be 67 this year. And I don't know how you gauge a fastball, but if you're throwing it so hard your catcher's hand bleeds, would that be faster than 83 miles an hour?
That's moving.
Oh, it depends.
That's Al.
And he had a thick leather catching mitt?
I hear
That's
you.
moving.
No, I mean,
I'm just saying.
That's moving.
I like Dave's comment. I'm admitting to you right now, I did not throw with velocity, and that's part of the reason why I used pickoffs, and I'm using my own experiences to tell you what other pitchers might experience, that they're not picking off.
I accept the challenge.
With the
even
intention.
at this advanced stage.
The smoking still won't, but that's neither here
He
nor
doesn't pitch.
there. Right, but that's the opinion today.
Oh,
It's like, what's that?
Dave's on fire. No excuses.
Oh boy.
He only gave 15 of them. I didn't even give one except age, but I said I'd do it.
Let me get it back on the tracks here real quick, though. That's the opinion, though. If players in sports don't...
Hold it.
Oh, goodness.
This matters. Somebody's father, Steve Callis, VIP was the greatest pitcher I ever saw play the game.
No, that's my dad. That's a little biased. I appreciate it. I
I
That's still
respect
my
the
dad,
bias.
though. Okay.
I still take the challenge.
Okay, reel it back in. My own experience was that compared to the players I played against, I did not throw hard. And in that case, I used pickoff attempts not to get runners out on base, but to throw off the rhythm of the hitter and ruin that consistent timing. But the whole opinion here is that in sports, if players won't police themselves, if players won't enforce certain things within the game to make them more digestible to watch or to make them more, to make them better, to make them, to do things with purpose. If they're not going to do things with purpose, they're not going to enforce their own pace of play, then the league needs to do something. The league did something, and we're seeing results. Games under 3 hours and purposeful baseball plays. I like that. What's up?
No, I just wanted to say, I've listened to what you said and I've heard other people's opinions. The national opinion about baseball is that people are losing interest in baseball. And why? There's two components to baseball. One, the game among the players. Two, the fans. You know, if I want to take my kids or my grandkids to a baseball game, I want to spend the afternoon. I want to enjoy it. I want to, you know, the smells that go with it, the crack of the bat, the ambience of the guys doing what they're doing. And what's happening is baseball is now becoming a game of mechanics. And the fans are being left out to be bored. The things that that were fun, the guys on third base doing all the signs, the things that the families wanted to see.
How about stealing home plate? When do you ever hear of that?
Right. But
You went to a baseball game to watch a third base coach give signs?
We did all kinds of stuff. Or like I would take my kids to a baseball game and kill the afternoon so my wife could go out with her girlfriends for the afternoon. But the way you're going, I better go. I just spent $200 and I got to be home in an hour and a half because of some machines. They're taking the human element out of the game and they're taking the ambience out of the game. And what's happening is, what backs me up is the lack of interest of baseball across this country, that it's more and more. And I'm going to make one final point. I still don't know what the difference between an 8th inning pitcher and a 9th inning pitcher is. And the Pirates put an 8th inning pitcher in, and he struck out the 3 guys, and then he took them out and put a 9th inning pitcher is, whatever the hell that is, and he struck out the side. And I'm like, it's ridiculous. So I'm one of them people that I'm losing interest in it because if I want to watch a bunch of computers and stuff, I'll turn on Jim's Mac. You know what I'm saying?
If you can find it.
Right.
It's in Atlanta right now.
So
it's just a different era of life, though, where you've got so many things to consume in life. And it's like, you know, what are you going to choose to do? Am I going to choose to just go to a baseball game to kill time? I don't think that's realistic anymore.
Hey, when I spend $150, $200, I don't want to walk in a revolving door and go right back out the door.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. But
that's what
that's part of his point.
But like 2.5 hours?
You know, you want to drink a couple beers, you want to have some popcorn, you want to check out
a hot dog. How about a hot dog?
You want to see all the pretty girls yelling.
Yes.
I mean,
But like,
you know, right?
Yeah.
But like games in your day, they were around the same times they were finishing now. Some of these spring training games are with these basic play rules.
But here's the point. I went to games in your day and my day. And I'm bored in your day of going to the games.
Whoa.
Well, yeah, because batters are going like this.
There should be a lot of double hitters.
Well, you're mechanic,
like double hitters.
But Nick, why is the people of this country turning away from baseball?
Well, because players were abusing their ability to have downtime and to have that ambient time where they could just adjust their batting gloves with every pitch.
I have an A.
No, that ain't it. They did that for 100 years and everybody went.
What do you mean they did that for
I got an
They
A
did.
word.
Babe Ruth used to stand there for a freaking half hour and talk the stuff off his cleats and everybody didn't care.
I got an
Yeah,
A.
but they were
I got
batting
an
gloves.
I
No,
got
you're
an A
see
word.
that's what the problem you young people are. You know the cost of everything and the value of nothing. Everything's about, you know, the cost and the machines and all that,
that.
but
I
you
got
lose
one
the
word.
ambience and the fun of it.
I got one word. Here's the problem both of you missed. It's analytics. Analytics. Virginia Marie, thanks for watching. Pete Ridge, thanks for watching. Amy, I like Donnie Iris. It's his birthday, 80 years old. Check out my picture on Facebook.
From Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Leah. And then Pete Ridge is watching. Thank you. Guns, how old are your grandkids, Amy wants to know.
They're 7 and 4.
All right, leave them out of this sports show. All right, we got more sports.
But
Guns.
that's a great point about Donnie Iris. If you go spend $200 to go to a concert, do you want it
why
to
I brought
last?
it up.
Do you want it to last an hour or 3 hours?
4.
It's the same thing. People
good.
want to
4
go to a
hours.
game and they want to
Yep.
inhale it and watch it and enjoy it and be
Yep,
part
I
of
agree
it.
with it.
How
Good
much-
point. Very
how much
good point,
downtime are
Guns. I
concerts
agree with
then?
you.
No, but what you're talking about is just for the players. The fans want to be part of the whole thing, and it takes time to be part of it.
How do you get
Just
them
like
back
going
in,
to a
is what you're
concert. You want to hear all the songs. You want
Right.
to have a couple drinks. You want to be part of
Amy
what's
likes
going
Donnie
on.
Iris. That's the point. How do you get the fans to
you
be
understand what
part
I'm
of the game?
Definitely.
I don't know the
Even
answer to
now, when
that.
people go to
Okay.
weddings, they're ready to leave.
He doesn't know.
already.
We're going to go to On Location. I let you do an extra discussion because we had extra time, set a new record with 6 minutes less on promos. We're going to go to On Location, so take it away. Stress, both calluses are watching. Unbelievable.
That's some pressure, brother.
Pressure's on you, Nick.
This is a Pittsburgh Sportsline First On Location. Nick's parents are both watching On Location.
Yeah, they usually watch.
I'm honored. The first time it showed up on my phone.
Rest my case.
On Location, Donnybrook, March 10th. March 11th, Millville Community Center, Golden Gloves Boxing with Ray Schaefer Boxing Association. Jose and his team, Jose Carabello and his team are doing it. They have us filming and doing that. I want to shout out the Team Giovanni, who I had on the show. He was on Smoking Jim's show.
that's my
Our
man.
friend Sarah said to interview him. I did
Yeah.
it twice.
Yeah.
He called me up Thursday night. He goes, Alan, will Smoking Jim go to the Polar Plunge? I said, no. I go, why are you calling? He goes, Alan, I want to thank you for helping me get over $8,000.
Wow.
He almost doubled the $5,000 he earned last year.
Wow.
He went on a cold Saturday. Nick was there. Nobody asked me to go. I thought I didn't get a cameraman. He filmed it all.
That was the
With
Bethel,
Bethel
Park.
Park.
That was the Bethel Park.
Nobody
yeah.
called me. How'd they forget Mr. Bethel Park? And I told Giovanni I couldn't get a camera. So thanks to Giovanni and Gina, his mother, almost $9,000 they raised
That's
for
awesome.
Polar Plunge and
That's
Special Olympics. And it's helping other children on the autistic spectrum and all the things they do in the community. I'm honored and thankful I could do it. I gave the first donation. Watch the show to see what I donated, Smoking Jim.
Okay.
You'll be surprised.
Wow.
And we'll go from there. On Location, we got the boxing. Stay with us on boxing. And we got boxing coming up in April. And we may have another fight, Golden Gloves, on the 18th of March. So stay tuned for that. But we can't wait to do the Donnybrook. If you haven't got your tickets, please support the Ireland and the Pittsburgh kids fighting. It'll be a great night of fights. And the Priory Hotel, it's one of the most luxurious fight venues that I've ever been in. And it's just an amazing place. They have food and everything. They got drinks. And they're a world-class hotel. Thanks to John Graff for hosting this event. So got to drop some names. Thanks to Rich Donnelly, Jim Land, Rob Tierney, the vice president of the Ireland Institute, who talked to me and got the deal done. And that's about what we're going to close out. Thanks to all of you watching us on Pittsburgh Sportsline channel, BPTV, Facebook, Pittsburgh Sportsline Facebook. Don't forget Verizon Channel 32. We love all of you on the TV too. And please subscribe to our Pittsburgh Sportsline channel. We got to boost it up. We only got 36. So I can check this on my smartphone to see who liked it. We need to hit 40 by the end of the show. Though I don't know if we can do that. To your parents, thank you for watching and tuning in to your son and the rest of us, putting our opinions out there, having some fun. And we put a few facts out there, all of us except for disclaimer, Smoking Jim. Not many facts. Please stay Joey strong.